Okay, so for question 3, it says tritium has a half-life of 1 day considering the function C, where this is the function C of D, is the percent of tritium remaining D days after the test. Write an expression to represent the time it takes for there to only be 10% remaining. So C of D is the percent of tritium remaining. So that's really helpful to write. So for this is the percent remaining. I'm going to kind of abbreviate that, percent remaining. And then the D stands for the days after the test. So this is days. That helps to kind of figure out where you're going to put stuff. So now I'm looking for the expression when there's 10% remaining. So this is 10% and this says percent remaining. So I'm going to put just 10 in here. So I put 10 in here and then I have the rest of this. And now just kind of as a heads up, this is a multiple choice question on the quiz and it's all written in log. So this is not enough. We need to put this into a log problem. So in order to do that, we need to get rid of the 10. So that way just the 2 to the negative D is alone. So I'm going to divide both sides by 10. So that way this crosses off, divide this by 10. 10 divided by 10 is 1. And then I have 2 to the negative D left over. So now I'm going to make a log problem. So I'm going to change this into log. Oops, sorry, my light just went off. Hold on. Okay, anyway, so we need to make this a log problem. So then we're going to write log, and our base that has an exponent is 2. So log base 2. And then whenever we have a log problem, remember the exponent is our answer. So negative D is our answer. And then the 1 goes here. So now we're just solving for the D, and that's because that's what the multiple choices on the quiz. We're solving for the D, but this is negative D. So in order to get rid of that negative D, I need to multiply by a negative 1. So that way a negative D times a negative 1 would make it a positive D. And if I multiply this side by negative 1, I need to multiply this side by negative 1, which is just going to give me negative log base 2 of 1. And that's all we need to do for the quiz. You don't need to go any further. You're just looking to solve it for D. All right, let's look at number 4. So here's a graph of the log, log base 2 of X. So when we're looking at this, it says explain why 8,3 is on the graph. So think about the equation that we have up here. If we have 8,3, that means that it's really 3 equals log base 2 of 8, because I'm plugging in the 8 for the X value up here and the 3 for the Y value. That's kind of hard to see. The 8's going in here and the 3 is the Y value, so the 3 is going here. So if I rewrite this without the log, it ends up being the base is 2, the exponent is 3, because that's what logs do, is give us the answer as the exponent, and 8. And 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So that's why 8,3 is a point on this, because 2 to the third is 8. All right, so that's what we would expect you to write here as 2 to the third. Right, so that would be your reason. What is the x-intercept on the graph? So that's when we're looking at the x-axis, which is this part here, and it crosses right here at 1, which we should know. We talked about that, and that's for the same thing. If we change this as our x value, so we plug in 1 for the x value. I'm going to erase this. We plug in this 1 because it says explain how you know. So that would be what equals log base 2 of 1. So if I rewrite that, it says 2 to the what equals 1, and we should know 2 to the 0 power is 1, because 2 to the anything to the number to the 0 power is 1. So that would be our explanation 1, because to the 0 power is 1 would be a good reasoning for that one. All right, and then when will the graph meet the line y equals 2? So we look up here. Here's y equals 2. Draw it out to where, oops. fill out to where it crosses. Get rid of all these extra lines so we can actually see. And look, it's like right here.